When was the last time you wrote something on your to-do list that you had already done just for the satisfaction of crossing it off? For me, it was like 2 days ago, and I kind of do it often. So in today's video, I wanted to do a little deep dive into this silly little action that many of us do, see what's behind it, and explore it a little bit. Maybe we should take this funny thing that we do a little more seriously. So let's dive in. Okay, so let's say it's Monday. There you are, going about your day, getting stuff done, checking things off your list. And each time you check things off your list, you get that little hit of dopamine. Satisfaction. I'm a freaking rock star for finishing that report. Yay! Dopamine surges in and we get our fix. Okay, so now it's Tuesday. And there you are, going about your day. But then your day goes off the rails. And you end up taking care of a bunch of stuff that was not in your plan for the day. A work project expands in scope on the fly, or your mom texts with a computer issue and suddenly you're the family IT specialist, or your dog pukes on the carpet. Whatever it is, you get pulled off the plan. But you still did stuff. Carpet puke cleaning is real stuff. So you deserve that same satisfaction from those things too. Thus, you write them on your list and cross them off. So that leads me to the first of 6 reasons we're going to talk today about why you might want to write down your completed tasks, your accomplishments. In other words, why you might want to keep a done list. The first, celebrating your wins. Taking just a moment to feel that dopamine hit, to pat yourself on the back, to recognize your success. You may hear it a bunch of times on this channel, but I say celebrate your wins over and over again because it has made such a difference in my life. I actually altered my personal day-to-day experience, got rid of some depression by making my brain a more positive place to be with techniques like celebrating wins. Pausing to recognize what you've done is one of several practices that can promote wiring your brain for positivity, creating positive neural pathways, countering that built-in negative bias that we humans have. Anytime we celebrate or just see the positive, there are chemicals that go sloshing around in our cranium, making it easier to stay positive and experience just more happiness. And it doesn't have to be big. You can celebrate just doing one thing, or you can celebrate, like, it may seem like 0 things, but usually when you do 0 things, you haven't really done 0 things. Like on my worst days, sometimes I celebrate just getting out of bed and feeding myself and enjoy reading a book in the window seat. That's actually a wonderful day, and you can celebrate that. So reason number 1 for writing down your done list, satisfaction, dopamine hits, celebration, positivity, all the good stuff. More on positive reinforcement with number 6. But for now, let's hit a few practical reasons first. Number 2. Have y'all read Gretchen Rubin's The 4 Tendencies? I'll link her book below. But she puts everyone in 4 categories. There are upholders who meet internal and external expectations, obligers who meet outer expectations, but they resist the internal ones, questioners who resist outer expectations, but will meet their inner own ones. That's me. Or rebels who don't meet inner or outer expectations. Rebels, in short, just don't like to be told what to do, even if they're telling themselves what to do. Rebels tend to do things because they want to, not when they have to. Gretchen Rubin says that they are led more by affirming their identity or rising to a challenge as opposed to fulfilling expectations of others or themselves. They like to do things their own way. So according to Rubin's logic, writing a to-do list and spending your day getting it done may not be something a rebel can or at least will do happily. So I'm not a rebel. I don't know what it would be like, but I do wonder if rebels could benefit from making a done list. If you've spent your day just following your interest and doing what you want, do you need a moment to check in and get grounded for a sec about what you've done, where you are on your path towards finishing some projects or achieving larger goals or maintaining important areas of focus in your life? And, maybe even checking in about what you want to do next. Are any of you rebels? Let us know in the comments if you are, and if you think taking a moment to write a done list could help you stay connected to your projects and goals and to what's important to you. All right, let's move on. So in my timer video, which I will link down below and on the end screen, I talk about the value of getting realistic about how long stuff takes. We can never perfectly plan, of course. There are wildcards in every task. And sometimes, even the same task takes us different amounts of time depending on your energy levels or other variables. But I do believe that taking some time to notice what got done in the day, making that to-do list, may start to give you a grip on how long stuff takes to do. Now, Laura Vanderkam, author of 168 Hours and several other books, she would have us record what we did every 15 minutes of every day just to get super realistic about what's going on. You may not have the wherewithal to record every 15 minutes, but spending a bit of time with your done list at the end of the day may give you a sense of how you spent your time. As you look back, you might notice, oh, I planned 45 minutes for that thing, but it actually took me 2 hours. So now I know that that kind of thing is going to take that long. Next time I put it on my to-do list or schedule it in my calendar. Or you might realize like, hey, the traffic was really crappy, which gave me less time to get stuff done at my desk. Maybe I should leave early. And if I get there ahead of time, I can like bring extra work to do in the car or use that time to meditate or just enjoy wherever I am or taking a stroll or, anything besides raising my blood pressure or getting frustrated in traffic. Or something like, yeah, actually it was really easy to unload the dishwasher and change the laundry while I was on a stretch break. So maybe I can kind of fold that in, no pun intended, to my normal things, like laundry folding. Anyway. Or like maybe I learned that part of my day is really full of wild cards that actually pop up. That's the nature of my work. So I shouldn't be planning a full day of strict to-dos when what I really need effectively is like a half day of focused work and a half day of like batting stuff away as it comes. So yeah, the idea on this one is reflecting back on your done items may help you give a sense of the timing of things, the actual like rhythm of your day, which can help you get better at planning or making some adjustments to the architecture of your day. Question for you. Do you work in a team or have to coordinate with any others as you go about your day? Maybe you're part of a small project group at work, or maybe you're planning a backyard blowout with the people that you live with, or maybe you're coordinating with your web designer that you hired to build the site for you. Let's take the backyard party as an example. So let's say it's Nancy's job to do the lighting, but she can't really do the final lighting hang until she knows where all the tables are going. But she's waiting on Jill to give her the table plan. But Jill can't finish the table plan until she gets the head count from Tina, who's in charge of invitations. So you can see how these interdependencies can impact the ability for any one person to move forward. So you might need a mechanism for communicating what you've completed to your teammates. Thus, the need for creating and sharing your done list. In the software development world, they have a particular term for this done list sharing. It's a daily check-in that's called a stand-up meeting. Formats for this meeting can vary, of course, but it almost always start with team members reporting on what they've done the previous day. From there, they can also report what they plan to do and indicate any foreseen obstacles and make requests amongst the team to help them through those obstacles. But the point is, it starts with what is done. With that, everyone knows what the actual lay of the land is. That lay of the land could include the fact that what you got done yesterday was not what you planned to do. Maybe you got less done than you planned to do because, you failed to anticipate that part of your project was more involved than you thought. Okay, so now we'll know how to plan for that thing in the future. Or perhaps that thing that you did yesterday just landed on your plate because it needed to get done and it wasn't assigned to anybody, and you just ended up being the default person. So then there comes a question for the group. Does that team need to be more deliberate about defining who's responsible for what? Or maybe you got pulled off your plan because a new idea naturally arose once you dug into the meat of your work. And if so, then now the team has the chance to ask themselves if that idea is worth considering. Should we go in that direction? All of these juicy questions for the team arise out of everyone reporting their done list for the day. And hey, here's a thought. Could you have this stand-up meeting with yourself, even if you're not on your team? Maybe play with that and see how it goes. So in their book, Make Time, Jake Knapp and John Zakarsky suggest a 4-step process for easing your scheduling and feeling like you have more time to spend on what's more important to you. So let's borrow step 4 from that process, what they call reflect. In that step, they invite readers to ask themselves, did I do the one most important thing I wanted to do today? They call that their highlight. But there's a second part. They suggest that you make note of the tactics you used to get that highlight done, to have focus to get that highlight done, and to have the energy to get that highlight done. And while you're at it, you can think about other tactics that you might want to try tomorrow for getting it done, having the energy to get it done, and the focus to get it done. Thus, you could, borrowing from these guys, you could enhance your done list with a bit of feedback for yourself. Some data, I guess, about the circumstances, conditions, frame of mind that allowed you to do these things. For focus, do you need to set up a focus mode on your phone? Mark some busy or unavailable times on your calendar, maybe, or schedule only specific times to check your email and messages so they aren't always interrupting you. For energy, let's see, do you need to take a nap at 2:30? Do you need to do a 15-minute yoga video on your afternoon break? Do you need to have some social time before you go in for your focused solo work? Do you need to time your caffeine consumption more deliberately? And for the highlight itself, do you need to have the materials and resources you need more at your fingertips? Did you give it the correct amount of time? All kinds of questions that can help you actually achieve the highlight that you're going for. And these are just some quick brainstorms, but the point is you could use that moment of writing down the what of your done list to consider the how of your done list. Okay, so back to the idea of positivity or positive reinforcement. In their book, Organize Tomorrow for Today, authors and performance coaches Jason Selk and Tom Bartow, they recommend that you make what they call a done wells list each day. With that list, we're focusing on the action we took and making note of those actions rather than the results. Like, if you think about it, in reality, you can't actually control output or results directly. You can only control what you do. This book is full of sports stories, and they tell the story of a hockey player, Jason, who got discouraged when things were going poorly, which made him play worse, or he would stop trying when things were going well, which made him play worse. So, either way, they argue he was focusing on the wrong things. He was focusing on the results instead of the actions he took. Here's a quote. When the focus is only on the results, you aren't necessarily building the actual skills you need to be successful. You aren't really learning the whys and hows that produce those results, which makes it hard for you to pull yourself out of the slump and adds pressure you don't need, unquote. Instead, they coached him to stop reading the stats, stop listening to sports radio commentary, and instead notice what actions he was taking, how hard he was trying, which opportunities he was taking on the ice, and so forth. You can't force your team to win the hockey game, but you can watch for chances to take a shot, to be open, to set your teammates up to score, and whatever else hockey players do that I honestly have no clue about. So when you focus on the actions you've taken, you don't beat yourself up for losing that hockey game. Rather, you make note of and reinforce the opportunities on the ice that you've taken. Reinforce the efforts made, the actions taken that build momentum, that build motivation. The authors go on to assert that by being real about the actions that you took, you develop a positive self-image. I did 5 push-ups. I'm capable of 5 push-ups. I will continue to do 5 push-ups. I wrote that paragraph. I'm capable of writing paragraphs. I will continue to write paragraphs until I have this book. You get the idea. And taking note of actions actually has an added benefit. If taking the action is consistently not getting you the results you're hoping for, now you have data. You now have a clue about what alternate actions you might want to take and adjust accordingly. Of course, because this is a self-help book and every self-help book story ends with a triumphant turnaround after Jason changed his focus from results to actions. Yeah, he became the hot up-and-coming hockey player. For me, sports analogies for productivity questions it's not my favorite because they may lead us to talk in terms of winning, along the way to competition, achievement, success. And, here, you to do you. I'm more interested in your productivity experience. Are we supporting you? Are we utilizing tools, techniques, ways of thinking that make your productivity experience going through your day just easier, less friction? Are you finding ways to reduce those internal roadblocks, lower the stress? You get the idea. Nevertheless, this technique of focusing on actions instead of results, whether you put it in a sports analogy or not, it really may be worth considering. Where in your life could you back off from worrying about the results and just pay attention to the actions that you take? Do you need to focus on the action of writing posts rather than the count of your Instagram followers? Can you put your attention on the action of sending follow-up emails to potential clients rather than your quarterly sales figures? Should you focus on taking stretch breaks instead of worrying about your cholesterol number? Tell me in the comments below. So, 6 reasons for having a done list. Having a done list, of course, does not mean not having a to-do list, or at least not necessarily. You can certainly have both. It's all about utilizing the tools and techniques that work for you, your brain, your life. There's plenty more of that on this channel, so be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can hear about more videos like this one. And if you got something out of this video, please give it a like and consider sharing it with a friend. So the timers video that I mentioned earlier, it should be hovering on the screen right now, along with another video that YouTube thinks you might like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.